Hey everybody, Jason the Barefoot Priest here, and this week's musical experiment I'm really excited about. Earlier this week I got this book. It's Vincent Persichetti's 20th-Century Harmony, Creative Aspects and Practice. Been looking for this book for a long time. Finally found a good price on it and picked it up. He covers a lot of the compositional techniques from the first half of the 20th century, and I just opened it up randomly to a chapter on chords built in seconds, and it was really inspiring. And I went to work on a piece, and so let's listen to it and then I'll talk about it a little more. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about what inspired this piece and also what is in it, how I went about building it. I was inspired by this progression. It's from one of the examples in Persichetti's book. The first chord is a chord built on seconds, but voiced as sevenths. The second chord is a chord voiced on thirds, like we're used to hearing, except it's voiced as sixths, which is also pretty common. This final chord is a chord built on fourths, but voiced as fifths. The first time I played this on the piano, I really felt it had a sense of motion. One of the challenges with atonal music that doesn't have like a tonic, dominant, tonic type function, is that you don't always get a sense of motion. You don't always know whether you're in the beginning of the piece, the middle of the piece, or the end. So I thought this had a sense of motion. Plus, it made me think of icebergs, and it made me think of a recording I heard years ago of Kronos Quartet, the string quartet, and they were covering a Sigur Rós tune. Sigur Rós, it was an electronic band out of Iceland, and it just had this sort of expansiveness, but also a lot of motion. So I was thinking about icebergs, and then I was also thinking about having this contrast to this frantic percussion, which you heard in the piece as well, and accentuated that with that frantic bass line. I wanted to give it some motion, so I added another chord. So I made it a 4-chord progression, and I end on another cluster chord built on seconds but inverted, and then I change this chord each time through until finally we wind up here. Our last chord is the same chord as we start with, but it's voiced as in ninths instead of sevenths this time, and that gives us a real sense of arrival. Hey, thanks for tuning in. This piece is short. It's very short. So my question for you this week is, should it be longer? Let me know in the comments if it's just right at the length it is, or if you think it should be longer and I should take it more places and see where it can go. Let me know in the comments. Also, subscribe, hit that bell, hit that like button, and I hope you have a blessed week. Talk to you soon.